Russian cultural complexes and the shadow aspects of European civilization. My name is Dmitry Kotenko. I am an analytical psychologist. My primary research interests are in the dynamic life of Russian cultural complexes, the archetypes of life and death, and the variety of shapes they have taken in recent history. My research interests also concern healing of collective trauma and the effects new media has on privacy and human behavior. I live and work in Moscow. What is going on between the West and the East nowadays? How can we interpret this strange and painful dream that is not going to end? And how can we respond as individuals? I decided to try to find some landmarks in this dark and unexplored area. In the view of the considerable difficulties that prevent us from traveling there, I would like to underline the preliminary nature of my research. I tried to bring together all my observations and ideas and pass them for your discussion. With this, I hope to draw attention to certain viewpoints that I feel are extremely significant every day living in Russia. In the Soviet Union, any scientific work had to have acquired by Lenin. Otherwise, the work would not be considered scientific. I observed something similar in the Jungian community regarding Jung's quotations. However, I would like to believe that in the case of Jung, we develop his ideas and do not exploit his past. His main idea, which inspired me to prepare this research, can be found in his latest book still of relevance today, Man and His Symbols.
If, for a moment, we regard mankind as one individual, we see that the human race is like a person carried away by unconscious powers. And the human race also likes to keep certain problems tucked away in separate drawers. But this is why we should give a great deal of consideration to what we are doing. For mankind is now threatened by self-created and deadly dangers that are growing beyond our control. Our world is, so to speak, dissociated, like a neurotic, with the Iron Curtain making the symbolic line of division. Western man, becoming aware of the aggressive will to power of the East, sees himself forced to take extraordinary measures of defense at the same time as he prides himself on his virtue and good intentions. What he fails to see is that it is his own vices, which he has covered up by good international manners, that are thrown back in his face by the communist world, shamelessly and methodically. What the West has tolerated, but secretly and with a slight sense of shame, the diplomatic lie, systematic deception, veiled threats, come back into the open and in full measure from the East and ties us up in neurotic knots. It is the face of his own evil shadow that grins at Western man from the other side of the Iron Curtain.
There is no more Iron Curtain between the West and Russia. However, there is like an idea of Iron Curtain or an attitude that is still alive in collective unconscious. And I can sensate something iron between the West and Russia. Following Jung, I tried to find some bright examples how the West and Russia are shadowing each other. I didn't have to go far. I found gays and Christian church. In the West, they perform deconsecration, desacralization, and take out sanctity from church. At the same time, in Russia, they report unprecedented construction of new churches. The Patriarch of Russian Orthodox Church reports that in 2017 1,500 new churches were opened. It means opening of 3 new churches per day. In the West, there are gay prides in a very large city, but on the entire territory of Russia, a gay propaganda ban has been established by law. So, if we assume that we are parts of a single individual and Russia is a shadow of the West, we can understand each other more by exploring our shadow aspects and complexes. In this research, I am focusing on 2 very bossy Russian cultural complexes that are manifested in a relationship with the West. So let's go to discover their nature. Boundlessness. I named the first one Boundlessness. What feelings does a person have being close to something boundless? Boundlessness is something that does not have borders and does not want to have any limits. Russian philosopher Nikolai Berdyaev said that Russia's boundlessness is a key determiner of the soul of the Russian people. Psychology of Russian incorporates both boundlessness of the Russian state and boundlessness of the Russian fields. This infinitude made Russians amorphous and chaotic. It's notable that in year 2016, President of Russia Vladimir Putin said that Russia's borders doesn't end anywhere.
Граница России нигде не заканчивается.
Russia's geographical boundlessness is also inside of the Russian soul and greatly dominates it. Russia's outbounded territory represents a geography of the Russian soul. Russians have neither the narratives inherent in Europeans who concentrate their energy in a small part of the soul, nor the European prudence and ability to manage territory and time and the intensity of culture. The domination of boundlessness over the Russian soul gives rise to a whole lot of distinct Russian features and flaws: Russian laziness, carelessness, lack of initiative and sense of responsibility, suppressed energy and extensity. Vast Russian territories require submission and sacrifice. At the same time, faith in miracle and in Mother Russia is way too strong. It is emblematic that in the 20th century the word fatherland was superseded with the word motherland regarding the concept of homeland in Russia. Russia's image has ultimately dissolved in the Great Mother archetype. Russia blatantly demonstrates its archaic and chaotic power. Its messed up laws. The father is toppled in Russia. He is befuddled and overshadowed. The rule of the father has been replaced by the rule of the mother, amorphous, dark and hopeless. Russia is ruled by corruption. Russia's life is that of perpetual suffering and sacrificing itself to the archaic forces. The men who are holding power in country are only imitating the father. In fact, they are just menials of the ancient tonical energy of chaos. What happens inside this complex? What archetypal forces feed this Russian complex? What does this terrible power look like? A brilliant sculpture The motherland calls comes to my mind. This colossal sculpture was completed in 1967. It embodies a part of the collective spirit frozen in concrete. What a powerful fusion of two archetypal energies, the energy of the Great Mother and the energy of the warrior. This mother not only calls on her sons to fight with the enemy, but she herself is ready to cut off all heads with the heavy sword. A huge, feeding breast, naked, attracting attention, with its nipples, wide, fertile hips can give birth to many. A huge sword in the right hand is ready to destroy other human beings. Eros and Thanatos are united in one image and pose a great danger to the bearers of this collective idea. The warrior is responsible for the precise establishment of boundaries, the mother, on the contrary, for chaos. Jung compared mother to the sea. The sea is boundless. The mother holding a sword in the hand is a boundless militant. The breast and the phallus, a sword, have united in the one image. The phallic female mother is a collective female image, a symbol of archetypal force which is difficult to resist. Mother warrior is raising her son to battle. She needs war. She is the mother protector and the mother aggressor at the same time. Try to look at her face and her pose. Her look is scary. I want to hide from a mother like this. This idea is reflected in a piece of poetry by a contemporary Russian poetess Vera Pavlova. Доченьку бьет и сыночка, лупит тяжелой рукой. Родина-мать одиночка, да и кто уживется с такой. Now let's look at Europe. In my opinion, boundlessness is an important complex that is in a shady state in the European unconscious. Possibly, it manifests itself in modern post-colonial politics. So, Mother Russia is chaotic and boundless. The chaotic energy of chaos could be limited by the energy of the father, the law, but in Russia the law does not work. And how terrible should be the father to be able to be close to such a mother. From this matter, there is the stronger longing for the father in Russian society. It seems incredible, but today there are people who are ready to congratulate Stalin on his birthday.
Русского народа на тебе, Иуда! Враг русского народа Сталин!
Уходите, улица! Вы не уважаете Сталин! Вы не уважаете Сталин! Уходите!
Русский народ
Вы должны умирать! Кто не уважает Сталин, должен умирать!
Сталин — это сила, жгучая огнем, вечная память будет жить о нем. Не сотрутся в памяти гордые слова. Сталин связан с Родиной, будет жить века.
The Reds come to his grave with flowers. These who wish Stalin to burn in hell are also came. They, however, unlike fans of the mustache chief, were detained by the police. On the one hand, Stalin could be a figure that represents the archetype of the great father, but it's not a good father. This father has no idea of law. The second important Russian cultural complex is lawlessness complex.